Dear learners, I'm now going to discuss the second part of the unit, mind-body relation, Descartes and Spinoza. The second part of the unit to be concentrated on mind-body relation, Spinoza. Spinoza also participated in the discussion of mind-body relation. His view on mind-body relation is to be deduced from his concept of substance. According to him, substance is one and irreducible whole out of which everything is deduced or explained. So it can be viewed that Spinoza tried to solve the mind-body problem through his concept of substance. Instead of regarding the two entities or substances as separate, Spinoza holds that mind and body are the two attributes of substance or God. Dear learners, Spinoza's theory of mind-body relation is known as parallelism. Parallelism. He thought that matter and mind, also known as thought and extension, are the two attributes or aspects of the same spiritual reality. In contrast to this, Descartes, in his theory of interactionism, had held that mind and body are the two relative substances which were quite independent of each other. Spinoza views that Descartes' theory of interactionism is not satisfactory because he thought that substance is one all-inclusive whole. Therefore, there cannot be more than one substance. If there were more than one substance, if there were more than one substance, they would limit each other and would ultimately destroy their very nature, by which we are familiar with the word substance. Again, Spinoza holds that Descartes' position is not clear in the context of interactionism. His interactionism of mind and matter goes against his dualistic tendency in his theory. His position further deteriorated when the latter Cartesians propounded the theory of occasionalism. The theory of occasionalism holds that matter is not the cause of thought, and similarly, mind is not the cause of matter, and vice versa. Rather, it is thought that God uses the occasions for his thinking and will. As for instance, when we say that someone performs the work successfully, it is not that he performs the work because it is God who uses his will as an occasion for his producing change in the world. That is why it can be said that both the mind and the body are the occasions for God's act and thought. Therefore, this theory, propounded by the latter Cartesians, has been known in the history of philosophy as the theory of occasionalism. But Spinoza did not accept God's intervention in case of the relation between mind and body. That is why he rejected Cartesian dualism and upheld the theory of parallelism. According to this theory, mind and matter or body are considered the two aspects or attributes of a single, all-inclusive reality. As the attributes or aspects of one single substance, mind and body, or extension and thought cannot interact upon each other. Fechner, as another representative of parallelism, did not give equal status to mind and body, and also did not show any distinction between them. But Spinoza distinguishes between mind and body and gives equal status to mind and body. Fechner wanted to show that every material object is endowed with consciousness or soul. This view of Fechner indicates that each and every object in the universe has a soul. This position of the supremacy of mind and its control over body makes a distinction between Fechner's and Spinoza's view on substance. Fechner's view is out and out of panpsychistic, but Spinoza's view is parallelistic in the sense that both mind and body run parallel without showing any overpower to one another. This doctrine shows that neither the body can be explained from the mind, nor the mind can be explained from the body. Therefore, both mind and matter are the two different manifestations of one and the same universal reality. Again, it can be viewed that neither the mind can be the cause of the body, nor the body can be the cause of the mind, as the two are considered to be the two different aspects of one and the same reality. Rather, they are considered as the effects of the same cause, which is one indivisible and all-inclusive whole, that is substance. That is why mind and matter are the two different aspects of one single indivisible whole. On this ground, Spinoza's theory is also known as psychophysical parallelism. If mind and matter do not interact upon each other, then the question is how they are related. Spinoza answers that both mind and matter run parallel. They are independent and infinite in their own nature. and can express God infinitely by their own nature without taking help of one another. It indicates that the mind or thinking can express God independently by its own nature. And God is its own unique nature, possesses both extension and thinking. That is why there are two inseparable aspects of the same thing, like the two lenses, convex and concave, of the same spectacles. Similarly, from one point of view, God is extended, and from another, God is thinking. So they are two inseparable aspects of the same thing. Although the two aspects, namely matter and mind, or extension and thinking, can run parallel without interacting each other. Still, none can exist independently without the other. So, Spinoza's theory of parallelism excludes both materialism and idealism without giving due importance to mind of her matter and matter of her mind. Spinoza's concept of parallelism is not satisfactory. According to Spinoza, substance is both extended and thinking. So human being can know only two aspects or attributes of substance. That is why the question is why it is that human being can know only two aspects, namely matter and mind, and why not the other aspects. Spinoza in this context answers that human beings can know only two attributes because human beings are embodied spirits. Again, if the attributes of substance are infinite in its own nature, then human beings cannot confine the attribute of mind to thinking alone. Because the attribute of mind or thinking can go beyond each boundary. Therefore, the question of strict parallelism cannot be accepted in case of Spinoza's theory of mind and body relation. Spinoza's double aspect theory offers some difficulty. In case of the mind-body relation, he never put importance to one in order to explain the other. Still, his theory cannot be said to be free from idealistic bias, because Spinoza categorically announces that substance is one and all-inclusive whole. Matter and mind, extension and consciousness are only the two aspects of one substance. Substance is indeterminate, infinite, and all-inclusive whole, and everything is deduced only from substance. Therefore, it can be said that Spinoza's theory of parallelism is not satisfactory from this point of view. Now, dear learners, we have to see some Leibniz view on mind-body relationship. Leibniz was another philosopher to have introduced the concept of mind-body relation. He goes beyond Spinoza's concept of mind-body relation because He not only discusses the relationship of mind and body relation, but also discusses the other things which are related to mind and body. So it can be said that Spinoza limits his discussion only to his mind and body, but Leibniz points to the variety which includes other things apart from mind and body. Leibniz introduces the concept of monads in order to discuss the ultimate unity of all things. He holds that there are infinite monads and every monad is real, eternal, and indivisible. Monads are real like the eternal substance of Spinoza. Each monad contains the whole infinity of existence. And every monad is potentially a world. It can be called a macrocosm in microcosm. Every monad as an all-inclusive whole mirrors the world. So each and every monad being a self-contained unit excludes all other monads. Every monad by itself mirrors a world or is potentially a world. Therefore, it can be said that monads are windowless, but through them anything might come in or go out. No monads are alike, but they are found in a hierarchical order of existence. There may be a bare or lowest monad and highest monads. The lowest monads are those in which perception, the very characteristics of monad, is obscure. They make the inorganic bodies. Apart from this, there are conscious monads. These are called souls, which make the plant and the animal world. Over and above, the highest monads are called spirits endowed with reason and universal necessary knowledge. That is why it can be said that in the hierarchical order of monad, the higher monad or the spirits includes the lower. It implies that the self-consciousness emerges out of consciousness and excludes certain perception which remain obscure. In case of bare monads, the force emerges only in the form of mechanical movement, as for instance, the appetite in case of animal is expressed in the form of instincts, whereas in case of higher monads, the force is found in the form of self-consciousness, desire, and will. Therefore, it can be said that Spinoza explained the unity between mind and body and Leibniz showed the variety of monads. But a very important question is how can we explain the unity among different kinds of monads? From the very nature of the windowless monad, it can be viewed that monads cannot be related. Although it is said that monads are independent or not related, still there is an inner desire of each monad which indicates a harmonious relationship among different kinds of monads. According to Leibniz, the harmonious relationship among different kinds of monads has been pre-established by God, who has beautifully arranged the series of monads in a hierarchical order in order to maintain harmonious relationship among various kinds of monads. The change in one monad is the cause of another monad. Symbolically or logically, the change in A is the cause of the change in B. Leibniz, in this context, wants to show that monads cannot interact upon one another because they are considered or as windowless. He points out that although monads cannot interact upon each other, still there is a concomitant relation between monads. As for instance, as soon as we press the button of the bulb shines. In this context, Leibniz show that the change in button or switch is the cause of shining by a bulb. Here, it cannot be said that concomitant relation between the switch and the bulb cannot be shown through an interaction of switch upon the bulb. So Leibniz brought out the concept of God who has arranged the monads in order to maintain a harmonious relation in the hierarchical order or series of monads to fulfill a grand plan in his mind. It is true that each monad works independently according to its inner urge or wish. But this inner plan coincides with the realization of one master plan in the mind of the Creator. It can be opined that each monad tries to realize the same final end in the mind of the Creator. Therefore, a harmony is involved among monads. Leibniz, through his concept of pre-established harmony, wanted to show that, like Spinoza's parallelism, his concept is not confined to mind-body relation. Apart from this, he insisted on harmonious relationship among the different kinds of monads through the concept of pre-established harmony. Leibniz, by the concept of pre-established harmony, aimed at introducing unity in the variety, which was lacking in Spinoza's concept of parallelism. Besides, through this concept, he wished to reconcile the mind-body problem. Leibniz views that the body is nothing but an aggregate of mere monads. In other words, this body is nothing but a living organism which indicates a living force. Among the various monads, there is a queen monad which focuses on the activities of the surrounding monads and also mirrors the changes of all other monads in a clear form of the universe. The queen monad is also known as a soul which is superior in nature to other monads. The supreme monad or soul can apprehend the activities of all other monads of the universe. The activities of lower monads are regulated by the queen monad or God. That is why lower monads perform the duties as a means and conditions for the realization of the end of the higher monad. When we have a desire for the movement of our hand to take place, then there are involved the muscular changes concomitantly in our body. This occurrence shows that the desire is the cause of the muscular changes in the body. It is due to concomitant variation. So, dear learners, this is all about Leibniz view on mind-body relation. Now, dear learners, we also, to some extent, will discuss Strawson's view on mind and body. Strawson also discussed the mind-body problem through the concept of person. Strawson, in his book Individuals, shows that the concept of person is a type of entity. It admits two qualities, namely physical and mental. He tries to solve the mind body problem by taking help of the concept of person. He is against the dualistic account of both the physical and mental in the context of a person. But it does not mean that Strawson advocated the neutral structure in the dualistic account. Strawson forwarded the concept of person as a solution to the mind-body problem. He does not he does not identify the person either with the mind or with the body. Rather, he raised the concept of person as an entity with both mental and physical properties. His concept of person is against the two theories. One that tries to explain the concept of person with the help of mind or ego, and the other that tries to explain the concept of person with the body. Therefore, Strawson's concept of person is a midway between idealism and materialism. Again, the concept of person works as a synthesis of the opposite theories, namely idealism and realism. Strawson is not in favor of analyzing the concept of person into a body and a mind. He is also against the only attempt to discuss the two elements as the sole element or basic reality in the concept in the context of the concept of person. Rather, he accepts the concept of person as a primitive concept to which both physical and mental predicates can be applied. Dear learners, this is all about the Strawson's view on mind-body relation. Dear learners, now we have to summarize the second part of the video, that is mind-body relation, especially deals with Spinoza. Instead of being regarded as the two entities or substances, Spinoza holds that mind and body are the two attributes of substance or God. Therefore, Spinoza's theory of mind-body relation is known as parallelism. Leibniz introduced the concept of pre-established harmony in order to show a unity, among various kinds of monads by bringing the concept of God. He shows that God has beautifully arranged the series of monads in a hierarchical order in order to maintain harmony among monads. Strawson is a critique of idealism and realism. He holds the view that the concept of person as a primitive concept is ontologically prior to the concept of mind-body problem. Dear learners, in order to know the second part of the video, you have to consult with some important books. These books are Barton Russell's book, A Critical Exposition of the Philosophy of Leibniz, S.P. Goswami's book, Persons, A Straussian Study, Trilly's book, A History of Western Philosophy, and Schaeffer's book, Philosophy of Mind. So, dear learners, this is all about the unit mind-body relation, Descartes and Spinoza. Thank you.